Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be doing the first half of the 24 Bond films ranking. This video will cover number 24 to number 13, and then on the 31st I will be doing number 12 to number 1. Now, James Bond is probably one of the most well-known movie franchises of all time, as well as the longest running one. In the past 55 years, it has gone through 24 films, 6 actors, and a couple of reboots here and there. The series is known to have many varying tones and feels to them, some being goofy and purely action-driven, some being intense and more story-driven, and some that are just wildly outlandish. These different tones tend to affect how the movie turns out in terms of quality, and most of the time when you have a movie that's a little too silly and action-driven, you get a movie like many of the ones we'll be looking at today. So without further ado, let's start with number 24, A View to a Kill, with a 4.9 average rating and a 36% on the tomato meter. Absurd even by Bond standards, A View to a Kill is weighted down by campy jokes and a noticeable lack of energy. Number 23, Octopussy, with a 5.3 average rating and a 42% on the tomato meter. Despite a couple of electrifying action sequences, Octopussy is a formulaic, anachronistic Bond outing. Number 22, The Man with the Golden Gun, with a 5.4 average rating and a 45% on the tomato meter. A middling Bond film, The Man with the Golden Gun suffers from double entendre-laden dialogue, a noteworthy lack of gadgets, and a villain that overshadows 007. Number 21, Moonraker, with a 5.6 average rating and a 60% on the tomato meter. Featuring one of the series' more ludicrous plots but outfitted with primo gadgets and spectacular sets, Moonraker is both silly and entertaining. And finally, breaking Roger Moore's rather depressing streak is number 20, The World Is Not Enough, with a 5.7 average rating and a 51% on the tomato meter. Plagued by mediocre writing, uneven acting, and a fairly by-the-numbers plot, The World Is Not Enough is partially saved by some entertaining and truly Bond-worthy action sequences. Number 19, Live and Let Die, with a 5.8 average rating and a 66% on the tomato meter. While not one of the highest rated Bond films, Live and Let Die finds Roger Moore adding his stamp to the series with flashes of style and an improved sense of humor. Number 18, Die Another Day, with a 6.1 average rating and a 58% on the tomato meter. Its action may be a bit too over the top for some, but Die Another Day is lavishly crafted and succeeds in evoking classic Bond themes from the franchise's earlier installments. Number 17, License, yes, License, not License, to Kill, with a 6.1 average rating and a 77% on the tomato meter. This is actually the first certified fresh movie on our list, even though it only has a 6.1. License to Kill is darker than many of the other Bond entries, with Timothy Dalton playing the character with intensity, but it still has some solid chases and fight scenes. Number 16, Tomorrow Never Dies, with a 6.2 average rating and a 57% on the tomato meter. A competent, if sometimes by-the-numbers entry to the 007 franchise, Tomorrow Never Dies may not boast the most original plot, but its action sequences are genuinely thrilling. Number 15, Quantum of Solace, with a 6.2 average rating and a 65% on the tomato meter. Brutal and breathless, Quantum of Solace delivers tender emotions along with frenetic action, but coming on the heels of Casino Royale, it's still a bit of a disappointment. Number 14, Spectre, with a 6.4 average rating and a 63% on the tomato meter. Spectre nudges Daniel Craig's rebooted Bond closer to the glorious action-driven spectacle of earlier entries, although it's admittedly reliant on established 007 formula. And coming in at number 13 is the last one for today, and the first one for Sean Connery, Diamonds Are Forever, with a 6.4 average rating and a 67% on the tomato meter. Diamonds Are Forever is a largely derivative affair, but it's still pretty entertaining nonetheless, thanks to great stunts, witty dialogue, and the presence of Sean Connery. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think this list should have looked like in the comments below, and leave a like and subscribe if you want more. Also remember to check out my next video on New Year's Eve, which will finish this list off. I'll see you guys soon.